everybody, welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Joey Evans, and today I'm talking about Here Lies. Here Lies is a mystery-solving game that one person plays the lead investigator, and you try to tell a story and get everyone else to guess kind of the clues, the main parts of that story, and fill in the blanks and investigate, if you will. So, before I go into exactly what I think about it, let's quickly see an overview about how it's played. Okay, we are set up for a game of Here Lies here. Now, this is going to be a tough one to explain because I don't want to spoil anything for you. First off, there are Here Lies cases right here. There's 25 cases in here. I'm not going to open it again because this will spoil it. But the whole thing is it's a Sherlock Holmes style. Kind of think of it like Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, but card-driven, and you can play it in under an hour. So I'm going to try not to give any spoilers, but for this is set up for mission 2, or I guess case number 2. And I won't read the whole thing, but this is the thing that you will actually read. In this book, there are going to be cases that the lead investigator, one person takes over the lead investigator, and they know the full story, and they're going to act as the narrator and the guide. All right, everyone else plays investigators. Their shared goal is to uncover the hidden answers, which is, for this one, the activity, location, recent event, and the weapon. These are going to vary depending on the case you are in. All of these are marked in here on the case, so the lead investigator knows what word they're looking for activity, location, recent event, and weapon. There's one word for all of these that has to do with this case, and they're going to try to get the investigators to say those words. And the more you get, the closer you are, the better your score at the end. So you're going to pick a case from the campaign book. In this situation, this is the case number 2, and everything's going to be laid out in different categories. Everybody gets an investigator. Investigators have different abilities, and different cards are going to show up. The number of cards vary depending on how many you're playing, but here we're going to have Sherlock Holmes, and we're going to have Catherine Warren right here. And everyone has a deck of inquiry cards, and these are going to be the way you're going to get information from the lead investigator. Everyone also gets time tokens. In this case, you're going to have 5 time tokens. Think of time tokens as the group's budget for asking for questions. So without reading what the second campaign is about, pretty much it's somebody washed up on shore. This is stuff you find out from the intro. Somebody's washed up on shore, and they're dead at an oceanside village. And he knew by one look what was wrong with him. Would you have known? And now you have to figure out what happens. Now, first off, to start the round, the game is played over rounds. Discover phase, that's the lead investigator is going to reveal a key evidence clue for that round. All right, so first off, you're going to get a couple of evidence clues into your campaign book lead investigator can give. They choose one of those, and then they place it down. Now, this is not an actual one from this case. I didn't want to ruin that for you. But they're going to place this here so that you're going to know there's a key evidence of rope. You don't know where exactly it goes. Then you have got the inquiry phase. This is kind of the heart of the game. All right, so this is where you're going to play these cards right here. These cards can lead the lead investigator to do things like draw a sketch, list related words, invent extra details, arrange clue cards on a board, and then the investigators have to kind of discuss back and forth what it means. For example, let's take a look at some of these here. Left Behind. This costs, right here, you're going to see the cost right here. See if I can get that to focus in on you. There we go. This is going to cost 1 time. The lead investigator draws a handheld object on the back of this card that the subject left at home, behind, or elsewhere before their death. So, if you do this, it's going to take 1 time token, place right up on here. And then on the back, the lead investigator is going to go ahead and draw something right here, hand it out, and they have to interpret what that has to do with the case. Now also there are different values in different time depending on what type of clue. For example here, damaged papers. Damaged papers cost 2, but take a look at this. The lead investigator writes the last 3 letters of an underlined word on the back of this card, and the investigator places it. So, in other words, what happens is, like I said, there's one word for each of these you're looking to get those investigators to say. Then they're going to write down 3 letters on here of one of those words. So you're going to get closer to knowing one of those. Now that does cost 2. Also over here, take a look at Message from Mycroft. Choose a category. The lead investigator invents an incorrect answer to it and writes it on the back of this card, crossing it out. So activity right here, it could be pickleball. He writes pickleball and puts it on there and marks it off, so they weren't playing pickleball. Obviously, it probably wouldn't be that one exactly. All right, so you're going to investigate, things will be drawn, all that, as you use all of your time tokens, just like this. Once all 5 are up there, and you have enough evidence, you're going to kind of discuss it back and forth, and the lead investigator is going to listen to what you say. Again, lead investigator cannot say things, but they can silently listen. Then all they're going to do is they're going to then grade you and see if you have said these words. If you have said the exact right word, you're going to get a green check mark. Now there's yellow if you're kind of circling, but you have the right idea. And red right here, red is if you are completely off. You are really going the wrong direction. So you're going to do these for every single one of these. All right, and then after you do all that, you're going to then begin another round with more key evidence. You'll have different cards. Everyone has a deck of cards, and then you're going to keep going. At the end of the game, at the final round, the investigators are going to make their final pitch, and of course, the lead investigator listens. A single theory that covers all the categories, and then you score it. You get 2 points per correct answer, 1 for being close, and even a bonus. It says if you give your theory with style. 10 points is a solid win, 12 is a perfect score. Now, also, one other thing is if you're playing the campaign, high scores can unlock ally cards, which I'll kind of show you quickly here. But these will actually be able to give you different benefits in future games. Okay, so again, that wasn't all the rules, but that's a general overview about how to play Here Lies. Let's send it back and see what we thought about it. Okay, so that was a very odd overview. I'm trying not to go into too many of these cases in the casebook and try to give too many spoilers in there, but that just kind of gives you a feel of what you're going to see. The thing about this game is every single one is different. Now, let me see what the overview real quick. First off, the light was on, so you might have saw some like little banding there. Sorry about that. But also, I did not mention that each of these investigators have their own little ability that can be used one time throughout the game. For example, Catherine Warren here, you can reveal an additional key evidence in the second round. That's pretty big. Sherlock's, at the start of the second round, the investigators choose a category, invent 2 incorrect answers to add to that category. So they do have those different abilities. That's the big thing about this is every game is going to be different depending on, number one, the investigators you use. Each of them are going to have different cards. And also, if you have the same investigators, you may not choose the same cards. That's where it's going to have a lot of variety. And of course, the cases are different too. You have 25 cases, and that's a lot to go through on this. Okay, so here are my thoughts of the game. I was very excited about it. I opened it once, and I looked at it. I'm like, okay, this is a bit too abstract for the group I was with, or we didn't have time for that. I was looking for more of an awkward guess style game. This is not that. This is there's a lot of interpreting with this, right? So that could be great or it could be bad depending on your group. There's some drawing too, and on this one, unlike certain games like Telestrations, Caution Signs, whatever, drawing, you kind of have to know how to draw a little bit, because sometimes I've seen some drawings, you're like, I have no idea what this is. So, and also let me say this, sometimes I felt like I didn't fully understand everything until you are the lead investigator. Once you're the lead investigator, you kind of see what you're looking at. You see those underlined words, so you kind of know what you're trying to get them to say. And another thing is, a lot of times you're in other games where you're trying to pull this information, you're not actively listening to the players as much as you do in this game. You're listening to them, and you can help guide them in certain directions. If you hear them going down the wrong path, you can't tell them to which evidence to play, but if they play something that lets you eliminate a certain path, you drop that. And I've had people go, oh, okay, the entire last 15 minutes that we were on the entire wrong path. So that's interesting too, because there's a lot of interpretation and guiding and stuff. Now, interpreting, that can be taken a couple of different ways too, because you're going to say something and they're going to be like wood. It's like that could be anywhere. It could be a log cabin. It could be they were hit by a piece of wood and whatever. But that's the same thing you have in like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, and a lot of those games. So I do enjoy that. One thing I will say, this has a lot of funny moments, especially when it comes to drawing. I love when they're horrible artists. It's very open world, lots of funny interpretations, and you're sitting there around the table, usually better with, I played this with 2 actually. It probably shines around 3 or 4 for me. And the cards you play really can make the lead investigator be extremely creative, because sometimes when you play those cards, you're like, that really makes no sense in where this case is going. But as a lead investigator, you have to do that. This right here, it's weird. I'm coming in, my score, I'll go and do that. My score is coming in at a 6.5 on this. Right below something I can recommend. Why? Because I think this is really, really group dependent. In my groups, I know certain ones are going to love this, and certain ones that I've played with are like hard pass. They just bounce right off of it. It's a storytelling game. I think if you don't like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, some of my favorite parts of that, they're the discussions, right? But that's more finite. That's more limiting. This takes that and just widens it. It gives you a lot more to do. So if you like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, if you like that storytelling thing and the creative cases in there, because what's cool, all these cases kind of tie in together. If you go through the campaign, you're going to see one thread go through, different allies come in. It's interesting, but really watching this, you're going to know if this is going to hit with your group or not. So I'm coming at a 6.5 on Here Lies. It's a small box, but there's a lot in this box. So, all right, I'm Joey Evans, and I'll see you later on the channel.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out what's happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.